Hey everyone, this is Jon McNaughton. Welcome to my studio, and I'm going to be talking about some things I'm working on and kind of some fun ideas I've got and a new picture I just released. I'm here with my good friend Seth Adam Smith. Hey Seth.
How's it going?
Good. Seth's the one that does all the hard stuff, so I can just sit here and talk about my artwork.
Oh,
So
it's good.
this is awesome. Today, I did something kind of different. I finally set up a Truth Social account. And if you haven't heard, that's Trump's new platform. And it had some bugs in it. You know, they've had it since late February, I think. And I finally set it up. So here's a screenshot of the new account. And you can see I have 0 followers. So I did that a few hours ago.
Most people don't brag about that, John.
I did that a few hours ago, and now it's up to like 2,600, 2,700 followers. It's crazy how fast it's growing. So they even got me my red check mark. I got verified. So now I'm officially on Trump's platform, and it's awesome because these are all the people that appreciate what I paint. I love it. And so if you haven't already, go out to Truth Social, get yourself an account. I have an Android phone, so I wasn't able to do it on my phone. I had to go on my desktop computer, and I just Googled Truth Social, set up the account. It was easy. And people on there are pretty active. It looks good. I like it.
And I hear they gave you it's a red check mark, right?
Yeah, it's a red check.
Yeah, red, because you got to get red, not blue.
Yeah. And, when I first set up the account, I'm like, how do I get verified? How do I get verified? And there was nothing on there, but somebody who works for Truth Social actually saw me and sent me an email, and I got verified. So that's pretty cool. So Erica says, I'll follow you. I follow back every person who likes me today. And I made that promise on my Truth Social. And so I've been having to click constantly because I've already got, I think by the end of the day, I'll probably have 4,000 likes on there. So if you do it today, I'll follow you back. Thanks. Yeah, this is great. Thanks, Alyssa. So that was kind of fun. On my Truth Social right now, at the very top, you'll see a new sketch that I just drew today. It's called the GREAT MAGA KING. Have you heard that before?
Yeah.
There it is. So I drew this sketch today, and I actually found this quote on Truth Social on Trump's personal Truth Social account. He has like 3.2 million followers, which is a small cry from what he had when he was at Twitter, which was something like, I don't know, 80 million, 60 million. I don't know. It was like crazy. So, but it's growing, and I predict that Truth Social is going to take off in the next couple of years, especially if he runs again.
And my question for John, because I get on to every social media account because I'm in marketing. And my question to John was it legit? Because you get social media accounts like Twitter that are infested with bots and fake accounts to make it look like you're getting lots of followers. But John was telling me that it's actually legit. Like you're actually having organic, real interactions with people.
Well, it looks that way because I've been randomly going and looking at the different accounts as people follow me. And I've been looking at the engagement, and it looks really good. You know, it looks really positive. So we'll see. But so far, I'm impressed with Trump Social. Now, it does have a few bugs. You know, I've noticed like I couldn't do the link for my website. I mean, I got it on there, but it's not linking. They're just little things, but for the most part, you know, it's working really well. And they sent me an email saying they're gonna take care of the bugs. Don't worry. So I'm very hopeful that Truth Social is going to eventually work out. So that's my take on it.
That's good.
John Bush just bought one. Hey, cool. There's not very many left. Last I checked, there was about 10 of these prints left out of the 50. It was a small edition.
I know.
So it'll
and you put it up for sale like 2 hours ago.
Half an hour. What's that, Seth?
You put it up for sale like 2 hours ago.
Yeah, yeah. These usually sell out pretty fast because they're really small editions and they're just kind of special.
Yeah.
So anyway, this whole Great Mega King thing.
MAGA. You keep
The
saying MAGA.
Sorry, I keep saying mega because it is kind of mega, but it's MAGA. The MAGA King. That all started with Joe Biden. Let's go to those other examples of people that have done MAGA King memes.
Well, to start, they had you can tell that the Democrats focus grouped this idea. They thought, oh, MAGA King is going to be like this really scary thing. But as soon as Joe Biden said the great MAGA King, Trump latched onto it and he tweeted out this image on
He
Truth
owned it.
Social.
The return of the Great MAGA King. That's right.
So good, so good.
Trump is great at trolling back the left like none other.
Oh yeah.
So there's been a whole bunch of these memes about the MAGA King, the Great MAGA King, not just the MAGA King, but the Great MAGA King. That one's kind of cheesy.
That one's cheesy. Yeah.
Look at that one. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Now I would never paint this per se because it is such a meme. I did do one of Biden with a crown, but he was naked. That was
that was terrible.
The emperor has no clothes. Okay, wow, yeah, that's pretty muscular. The ultra MAGA, and okay, the Great MAGA King.
Now, I do think, John, I do think that you should paint something like this. I think you do. And does anyone else agree that John could paint a Great MAGA King?
Yeah, I could do it, but it's kind of this kind of thing seems like such a cliche at this point. I'd want to do something different. And I've talked to you about some ideas that I've got.
Yeah, you got quite a few ideas. I can't say any of those.
Can't talk about it yet because I got to surprise everybody. But I do have some things coming down the road. So let's go ahead and start the sketch because I filmed myself doing this sketch so that you could watch me drawing the Great MAGA King. And I always start with the eye. Thanks, Erica. I always start with the eye because it's the window to the soul. And I'm putting that in there. That's his right eye. And it only takes me about 25, 30 minutes to do one of these sketches. It's very relaxing for me. I call them my sketchbook sketches because originally when I started doing these, I just did them as a way to relax, and I never sold them. I just kind of threw them in a drawer, and I would, sometimes bind them up like a sketchbook. But eventually people started asking me if they could purchase them, and I would just take a photograph for my personal reference, and I started making them available. And I've been doing that for about 1.5 years now, and they've become pretty popular. But they're just sketches. They're just simple. When I do a painting, I go and I refine them even more. But the sketches have a certain quality, kind of a crosshatch, kind of an old master's style of drawing that gives it a nice quality, I think. So here you can see how quickly, I didn't even speed this up. This is me drawing it in real time, just working away, putting it in, getting the shapes right. And you can already tell that's Trump's eye from the side. And he's got those bushy eyebrows. Thanks, Mary. Appreciate that. Now, kind of a funny thing about the eyebrows. My wife, now that I'm getting older, I'm like 54, my eyebrows are starting to turn into Trump eyebrows, kind of thick. And my wife makes me shave them and keep them trim. But Melania doesn't do that to Trump. I don't know why. I think I told my wife that it looks more wise when you have like the heavy eyebrows like Einstein. But she won't go for that. So anyway, I know it's kind of dumb. So putting in the nose, I'm just pretending like you're right here with me, as I work on this sketch. I'm just talking about what I'm doing. Let's see. Oh, Tanya's friend from Colorado. I know you. Hey, Sharon. Yeah, Tanya is a friend that lives nearby. She used to come to my art classes. So anyway, the nose is going in kind of quickly here, and I've got people that are tuning in to this show from all around the country. I appreciate that, but it's I tell people that watch me draw and paint, it's like watching grass grow, and then all of a sudden it's done. It just sort of comes around. And when I used to have the art gallery at the mall, I closed that down about 8 years ago. We had a gallery at the local mall for like 12 years, and people would come in there and I wouldn't see them, and I'd be working on my painting, and I would feel like a presence next to me, and I'd turn around and there'd be a face like right here. Somebody'd be like staring at what I was doing, and it was kind of weird.
That's where I met you, I think, for the first time.
Yeah.
I sent you an email. I wanted to do a video on One Nation Under God, and you were you said meet me at the gallery, and I came over there, and I thought you were an employee. I was like, is Jon McNaughton here? That's me.
Yeah, well, what was that, like 15, 16 years ago or something?
Yeah, 2009.
2009. Okay, so about 12 years ago.
Yeah, 12 years
Yeah,
ago.
I looked even younger then, so I probably looked like I was just some college student.
Yeah. No facial hair. I don't think you had any facial hair.
No, didn't have any facial hair. Yeah. But so you can tell this is Trump even now. It's really starting to come along. From the great state of Illinois, Patricia. Awesome. Just kind of off topic, I've been watching a TV series lately called Designated Survivor.
Yeah, Kiefer Sutherland?
Yeah, I've been watching that. And, it's very liberal. It drives me crazy at times, but it's just fascinating to watch the way they filmed that. And he makes an interesting president actor. I also started watching House of Cards. I'm kind of on this kick now. So, that's the one with that creepy guy, Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, he's great, man.
Yeah, he just got arrested in Great Britain, London.
Did he got arrested?
Yeah, he got arrested for indecent sexual assault or something like that. I mean, the guy's got a history now, so
what's fascinated me is watching all of these people who hated Trump, who slandered Trump and went after him. Mm-hmm. It's just the past 2 years, just watching them all get like this weird comeuppance in a way. Like, I mean, Alec Baldwin getting what happened with him?
Oh, yeah, his life's gone down the toilet.
I mean, yeah, and you look at all the news agencies, everybody who went after and lied and made a living off of lies during those 4 years, man, it's just come back to bite them.
Yeah, so much has happened so quickly. So Glenda is asking, do you record all of your drawings? I don't.
Yeah, that's a Seth thing. I encourage you to do that.
Yeah, I do take a picture of all of them and file that, but haven't recorded all of them. I've done maybe 30 recordings of me sketching, but I do have quite a few that I've photographed, and at some point I want to put all these sketches in a book, because there's hundreds of them, and I could put together a pretty interesting book simply because of the quotes that go with them, and it would be a nice kind of a historical volume to have. So I'm thinking of doing that at some point. But so Rosalind says, you're a fantastic artist. Thank you. Love your drawing of President Trump. Thank you. I appreciate that. My real passion is the paintings. I love the sketching is relaxing, but the paintings are where I put my heart and my soul. and always trying to find some kind of an idea that has a strong message, that has a kind of a historical context in the terms that it emphasizes what's going on in the country right now. And so my next painting that I hope to have done this week, it's called Politically Incorrect. Kind of like the Bill Maher show that he's got, except this is the real politically incorrect. I mean, this painting is going to turn some heads, but it'll be fun and it'll be interesting. So kind of look for that next week. We'll be releasing that new one. Allen's and Logan. Hey, that's a couple hours from where I live. I love it out here in Utah. We just can't elect very good people, but other than that, we got Mitt Romney, and our governor's a total rhino. So other than that, Utah is a pretty awesome place to live, and there are a lot of conservatives here, but we just haven't done a good job with electing our people. So Patty says she bought a pack of Trump sketches and has a framed He Is Risen painting. Oh, awesome. So He Is Risen was one that I did of the resurrection. I've done quite a few religious pictures. These days I do mostly political, but you got to go take a look on my website if you haven't seen my faith-based images of Jesus Christ and stuff like that. I love painting those kind of things, and maybe hopefully in the future I can do some more of that, because there's so much subject matter I haven't even touched yet. There's just so many things I want to paint. Sometimes these sketches will open up ideas for maybe a painting I want to do in the future, so I never know where they're going to go. Here I am working on the ear of Trump. The ear is almost like a miniature face. I mean, all these little shapes you got to get right. Every person's ear is different. So let's see. Glenda's from Lawton, Fort Sill, Oklahoma. Wow. Oh, this is so cool when I see people from all over the country tuning in. Thanks, Lynette. It's kind of neat doing these Facebook Lives, because you guys can come in and ask me questions and comment, and I'm just so amazed and flattered that you would even tune into the show. I'm usually just kind of private and in my studio, just working away, just kind of creating new things, and don't really think about people watching me. I was used to that when I used to have the art gallery, like I was mentioning earlier. But when I started doing political artwork, I couldn't get anything done, because people would come in and want to talk politics all the time. It was so, I mean, my workload, I couldn't get anything done. And not too long after that, I ended up closing the gallery and just focusing on selling online, which actually was a good thing. So Missy says, does Mr. Trump have your paintings? Well, I think so. I'm not sure. He wanted to buy one of my originals earlier this year, and I had to tell him that it had already sold. That was like a kind of a bummer to have to do that.
That's a surreal story. Like, you finally meet him and say, no, you can't.
Finally meet him, and he's like, I want to buy that. Well, that one already has an owner.
Sure, yes, let's keep talking. You could have just done that.
So we'll see what happens. He says he's got some ideas for me. I have no idea what that's going to be, but it was an honor to meet him. He was very gracious, and he's probably looked at some of my paintings and was thinking, what was that artist thinking?
Well, now, correct me if I'm wrong, he did buy prints of your painting and passed them out.
Yeah, he's bought some prints that he's given away as gifts, but I don't know if he actually has anything at this stage. I don't know. Some of his close friends have purchased my paintings, and we'll see. I don't know. I'm just he's kind of a political icon, And
Kind of.
that's the reason why I've done so many pictures of Trump. You know, before Trump, I was drawing and painting a lot of pictures of Obama. Of course, I didn't like Obama very much. But even then, I always painted Obama looking realistic the way he looks. I wasn't trying to make fun of his face or anything like that. The only time I think I've ever done anything that was kind of sarcastic about Obama was last October. I painted a Halloween scene, and Obama was in it, and he looked like a devil, like they were like in costume, you know. And so if you have a chance to go on my website, it's called Trick or Treat, and it shows some of the different Democrats, and it's kind of funny. It's kind of a hilarious painting.
It's very funny.
So Sharon says, I love my pieces coming and One Nation Under God pieces. Sweet. Those are two of my favorites. Pieces Coming, One Nation Under God. And One Nation Under God, believe it or not, the original is right on the wall, right next to me, right here. Big painting. But we've sold quite a few prints of it. And to this day, it's one of my favorites. And, you know, that painting's also been one of the most controversial for some reason. Probably because I have Christ holding the Constitution. I don't know. Like, that's such a horrible thing, you know, that I believe the Constitution's divinely inspired. I don't think that's a horrible thing at all. Okay, Lord is from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Sweet. And Larry, Mary are from St. Charles, Missouri. Thank you. Wow, that's so cool. So Trump has, you can see I'm drawing his hair. He has the most interesting hair. It's like nobody has hair like Trump, especially at his age. I mean, it's iconic. If he had typical old man hair like I'm starting to get, he wouldn't look the same. See, I've got this really dark hair on the top and I'm graying on the sides. It's strange. I think that it's going to keep getting grayer and grayer until I have this dark stripe right down the middle. It just keeps going up. Okay, Mike says, John, you should have told Mr. Trump, well, I sold that painting, but I'll give you the number of the person I sold it to, and I'll bet you could work out a deal for it. I mean, if I had the painting and Donald Trump called me to buy it for me, I'd say, yes, sir, I'd be happy to do that for you. Well, yeah, normally that would make sense, but I knew the person who owned that original, and I asked him if he would ever sell it to Donald Trump. And he said, no way. And that was before I actually met Donald Trump. So I already knew the answer.
Man.
And I know he's going to listen to this and he's going to laugh and he's going to be like, yep, that's right, John. I'm not selling it. I got to tell you a story about that crossing the swamp. You know, it's the picture that's on the backdrop here on the screen. You can see the flag there at the top. That painting, Crossing the Swamp, the person who owns the original had me paint white silhouettes on the back of the original because I paint on masonite boards. It's the brown color, like what I'm drawing on with this Trump sketch. See that brown wood? It's the same color. So I did these white silhouettes because he wanted to have every person on the boat sign the back of the painting. And so far, he's got 6 signatures, including Donald Trump, Mike Pence, and others. Some of them, I don't know if he's ever going to get the people to sign it, but he's doing a pretty good job. So I knew right then that, you know, after talking to him, there's no way he's going to sell it.
Wow. So, I mean, Mattis, right? Mattis is in that painting.
He is.
I mean, look, Mattis was essentially, they were trying to get him to basically take over the government during the riots of 2020. He's the one. I mean, he's the one who wrote the op-ed, I believe, against Trump, and he's like, "Oh, he's terrible. He's incompetent." And the Democrats were sort of
he's turned against Trump.
Yeah, they were edging him to like, "Hey, you should just take over," you know, from him.
Yeah, it's interesting because a lot of people that were on the boat in that painting, you know, jumped out of the boat before President Trump finished his term, and so it's kind of interesting. There's some interesting history. In fact, when I showed President Trump the painting, I said, you know, a lot of thought went into this picture, and every one of these people has a story. I said, I bet you could tell a lot of stories about this. And he said, oh, I definitely could. Oh boy, would I. So he was thinking as he was looking at it of all those people in that boat and what happened. It's crazy piece of history.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So Victoria's from upstate New York. Very cool. Yeah. So you can see I'm putting in the sketching the clothing on Trump, and it's pretty simple. You know, when you watch me draw this, you can see that it's just a lot of strokes going different directions, and it doesn't look like rocket science in my opinion. It's very simple, but you know, when it's done, it has a nice look to it. It has a real clean quality. And you know, I've had people say, you know, I don't know how you do this. I don't know how you paint and draw. You know, you just must have a gift. And I tell them, I said, look, you know, you just got to know the tricks. You know, everybody has their own skills, and I've learned the skills of how to draw and paint. And you know, I used to have art students that I would teach, you know, how I do what I do. I'd teach them how to paint and draw. And I told them that, you know, anybody can learn to draw and paint, but it's what you're able to conceive in your mind. And when you create your own personal vision of what it is that you're trying to create, that's when you become an artist. Because, you know, we can all learn the skills. And people hear me say that and they're like, oh, you're so full of it. I could never do that. Okay, OMG, this drawing looks like a photo. Oh, it doesn't. I don't know if it looks like a photo, but it definitely feels alive. Thank you. John says he's from Marco Island, Florida. Cool. Oh, yeah, John. Yeah, okay. I'm thinking, John from Marco Island. How do I know? John, you came and visited me at my place where I signed my prints about a month ago. That was cool. Every now and then I'm able to meet some of the people that collect my work, and they'll come out here and I can say hello. That's nice. Thank you. Mike, thank you. I appreciate that. So here I'm writing the words on the sketch. The Great MAGA King is the name Joe Biden is now using to
This is taking a long time.
Bribe me. I don't want to get it wrong. I'm looking at it here. And there's some more to the quote. I actually got this quote right off of Truth Social today. He said this about a month ago, I think. And so I figured, you know, since it's my first day on Truth Social, I'll use a quote that he actually, you know, I miss the days when he used to get on Twitter all the time and say all that stuff, all those angry tweets. But now he's on Truth Social. He's doing the same kind of thing. It's kind of fun. I love it. So thank you, Joe. Make America great again. And then I just signed President Trump's name on it. Ultra Mega King. Yeah, I was using the quote from Trump. That's why I called it the Great Mega King. But you're right. It is the Ultra Mega King for sure. So that was a lot of fun doing this sketch. It may have already sold out. If it hasn't, there might only be a couple left. Go to my website and take a look, jonmcnaughton.com. If we have any left, you can get one. They're like $29, and I signed them and numbered them. And, you know, I'm trying to think of some other people to sketch. I did the one of G.W. Bush last week. And it's the first time I've done GW, and I probably won't draw him again. But, you know, there's other people that I haven't yet drawn. So if you've got some ideas of who you think would be some good people to sketch in my sketchbook, let me know. I'm thinking of doing one of Nathan Hale. Nobody knows what he looks like, but I can create something because he's got a great quote. Maybe some previous presidents or some other political figures. Even if they're people I don't like, sometimes I like to draw pictures of them. So if you have any ideas, let me know. Other than that, that's all I pretty much have today. The sketch of the great mega king, President Trump. And we'll see what happens in the next couple of years if he runs again. I think he will. But a lot of exciting things coming around the corner. We got to keep up the fight. We've got to continue to stand up for what's right. I appreciate all of you and your support of my artwork. And I will see you next week, next Wednesday, same time, as I share with you all of my artwork. Make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you then.